My name is Verwijmeren. I'm from Rotterdam in the Netherlands. I'm Professor of Corporate Finance and Head of the Finance Group at the Erasmus School of Economics. My life motto has to be to always stay curious, never stop learning. Who did I want to become when I was a child? I don't think I thought about it so much. I really lived in the moment, as kids do. I was always playing in the streets of Rotterdam, playing football. What kind of student was I? Was I a nerdy student? I don't think so. I was really into sports, into going out. But if you would ask my friends from childhood, who didn't go to university, they would probably give a different answer, because I did study hard. When I was a student, I really tried to develop myself, but have fun at the same time. So really be involved, participate in many activities, but also to have fun. So I ran a bar at the same time with some of my friends. I started my career in academia almost by chance. So I was writing my master thesis when my thesis supervisor said that I had talent and that I should think about doing a PhD. And that's when I decided to do it, to stay at a university, such a young, ambitious environment, and that's how things developed. My development as a researcher went in stages. I had some early ideas, and I think that's the beauty of doing research, that you come up with your own ideas and try to answer the questions that you have. But the international aspect was also really important. I moved to Australia, did a lot of my research there. I worked hard, and luckily enough, people liked my insights, liked the questions I was asking. And from then on, it went pretty fast. I published in the right journals. My main topic is hard to say in a few sentences, because I'm all over the place. There's a lot of variety in the things that I study. For example, how do firms finance themselves? How do we make sure that managers make the right decisions? But also, should we invest in art? Does it make sense to buy paintings? I think the returns on art are interesting. It was in 2011, I was at the VU University in Amsterdam, and one of my colleagues did research on art, and he said that arts are really good investments, better than stocks. He found this by looking at art, by paintings being sold at auctions. And at the same time, I was trying to sell my house, and I thought it was unfair to only look at the paintings or houses that sell, because my house didn't sell. So I thought the prices of the paintings and houses that do sell are maybe higher than the ones that do not. Right? If you compare art to stocks, you can observe the stock price of any given company at any given moment. But for paintings, this is different. You only see the ones that sell. And we found in my study that the ones that sell are actually have a higher valuation than the ones that do not sell, or that take longer to sell. So if you take that into account, if you take sample selection into account, you would see that the returns on art are lower than people previously thought, and that stocks are actually a better investment than paintings. So a good follow-up question is, which styles of art are really interesting to look at, or which ones should be good investments? Because there is variety, right? You have the old masters, you have contemporary art. There are many different styles of art. Some are better investments than others, but overall the conclusion is still the same, that stocks might be a better investment. Of course, if you can predict the demand for art, you could very well invest in a particular painting or a particular style, right? Just like you might know a stock that you think will do well. So you might do really well, but on average, any style of art is probably a worse investment than an overall index of stocks. Selection bias in art means that the paintings that come up for sale are not representative of the overall population. So if you would buy a painting, say 10 years ago, or you would buy two, and you pay 10,000 for both, one actually was great, one went up in value, and would now be worth 100,000, while the other one was worthless. Then as a researcher, I would see repeat sales. So I would see one of these paintings being auctioned off 10 years later, and that's probably going to be the good painting, because there's demand for that painting, so that one will sell. So if I look at the returns, I will only see the paintings that did well, but I won't see the paintings that turn out to be worthless. So to get an estimate of the real value of art, of the overall population, I have to take this into account. I think my research on art is interesting for academia, because we really improved the econometric technique to account for self-selection. But also the conclusion was really interesting for practitioners, because the conclusion that maybe art is not such a good financial investment, many people in the art profession already believe this, but studies had shown otherwise. So now they had a study that actually showed what they intuitively already believed. My paper on art was picked up really quickly and really well. So within days of posting it online, we got calls from the Wall Street Journal, from many blogs. The Forbes picked it up and wrote an article about it. So there was a lot of attention about it. And I think only positive. People really believed what we had to say. And this was my paper that was picked up the most of any papers I ever wrote. So a myth of paintings is also that they're really good in terms of crisis. And we found that this is also not the case. So sure, in terms of crisis, you would see paintings getting record prices, right? Really selling for top dollar. But this is because some people just want to show they still have a lot of money. But they're not representative of the overall population. The art market is hit also in financial crisis, so the average painting will decrease in value during a crisis. My name is Verwijmeren. My message to students is to always stay curious. Never stop learning, keep asking questions.